Good morning. Today is day 8 in our 30-day challenge. And today I would like to talk about self-doubt. And not the kind that's obvious that says, I can't do this. But I'm talking about the deeper kind when your actions, the things that you do daily, quietly reveal that inner conversation that you don't fully trust who God is forming you to be. So day 8 today exposes the question, what area in my life, what action am I doing daily that is still showing that I haven't fully allowed? And self-doubt sometimes gets confused as humility. But what it is an agreement with a lesser identity. Self-doubt says, I don't trust that God has equipped me or that I'm even worthy of being that version of myself, the highest version of myself. And some of the things that you might say if you live with this self-doubt is, I'm not good enough. What if I fail? I'm not ready. Maybe this wasn't for me. I need more proof. I need more signs. But there's something that's going on underneath all of that. And it's as if we're asking permission to become somebody that God has already made us or called us to be. It's like the apple seed, doubting, am I really going to be an apple? It's taking too long. Am I really going to be a tree that bears fruit? God, please help me to be this apple tree that I know I can be. You don't need to ask permission to be something that God has already called you. And today our lesson is that self-doubt is something that, just like the apple tree and the apple seed, it can only show up after you receive clarity, after you receive the vision, after you receive a glimpse of who you are called to be, not before it. And it's normal. Moses had self-doubt. Abraham had self-doubt. All the great people in the Bible that we read about, they encountered self-doubt. And it goes like this. You get a glimpse. You visualize your future. You hear the direction. You know which way you need to go. And you even feel it. You feel the pull telling you this is what you need to be doing. But then what happens? The mind starts to analyze, cross-examine. And that's the test. We move based on what we see. And it's not about feeling doubt, because you're going to feel doubt. But what emotion are you leading with? What thought are you leading with? Is doubt leading you, or is fear leading you? Because remember again, Moses, all these guys, they had doubt. Gideon doubted his strength. Jeremiah doubted his age. Peter, when he walked on water. And they all were called by God, but they also struggled with this identity alignment. And I'm not talking about the kind of believing in yourself that we hear in motivational speaking. What I'm referring to is essentially asking yourself, do I trust the version of me that God is revealing more than the version of me that has accomplished everything in the past, the fear that I keep rehearsing? And so today, let's meditate. Let's reflect on every opportunity, every action that we take where we shrink, where we operate in a smaller version of ourselves, where we delay, where we over-explain, where we're looking for validation. And worst to me is where we rehearse failure, where we already plan something. Oh, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to have kids. I'm never going to succeed in this business. We're planning it. And ask ourselves, is this godly? Is this wisdom? Or is this self-doubt dressed up as caution? And letting go of that old identity is essential. That's one thing that we have to do, because the old version of ourselves is not going to be the version of ourselves that we're looking at or that we are in 2 years, in a year. Because you look back at your life now and you're a completely different person than you were a few years ago. You've grown. And so today, let's look at those areas where we've allowed self-doubt to slowly creep in. And it all starts in our mind, the conversation that we're hosting. What conversation are we allowing to lead? And all you got to do is look at your actions. For me, we were out this weekend and we didn't have a car. So we had to take a lot of private cars. And every time I would think, oh my goodness, this is adding up. But that conversation is a self-doubt of, will I have enough? And I had to shift the conversation to every single time that I'm riding with someone, I'm actually depositing a seed into their future. I'm giving them a portion of my wealth, a portion of me that I've earned. And so who's to say that every single ride is not an answered prayer to someone who needed that? Because I've been that guy who needed the ride. And when you reframe it, knowing that it's not even yours to steward, the money, the time, it's not yours. It's just yours to steward, You want to give freely. You want to invest in others. And that's what we're talking about today, is that self-doubt, identifying the actions. Why am I going to this store versus that store? What is holding me back? Reevaluate it, reframe it, and release it.